This here is Rob Tebbutt for ID Boxing. Delighted to be joined by Andy Clarke. We're here in the immediate aftermath of a truly stunning win for Liam Smith, a fourth-round stoppage win over Chris Eubank Jr. I'm going to preface this with, if you want Andy Clarke's full reaction to Liam Smith's fourth-round win over Chris Eubank Jr., make sure you tune in to the ID Boxing Review Show coming tomorrow, 6 p.m. on YouTube. But Andy, now that's out of the way, that was some performance from Liam Smith.
Yeah, it was. I mean, this sport makes fools of us all, because we did the preview show, me, you and Barry, and none of us predicted that. People were picking Liam to win, but I said that I didn't see how he could hurt him with a headshot based on what we'd seen previously in his career, and I was completely and utterly wrong, because Liam Smith has taken him out there in just extraordinary fashion. And it's one of those things where, when you do what I do, you never have any idea in your head, or you try not to, about what you're going to see. But then you see something, and it's not like you're not ready for it, but it's so in the moment, because it's just not what anybody thought was going to happen. And Eubank, I don't know how he managed to get up, to be honest. And Victor Lotley gave him every chance. Maybe could have stopped it after the first knockdown, but he gave him every chance. And as soon as Liam started to land anything on him, he stopped it. And the scenes in the ring at the end, that's what this sport's all about. You know, you need to see what it means to someone to win. And it was great to hear Chris say what he said to Liam in the interviews. Yeah, it was amazing. It was really amazing.
Liam Smith, you know, we all spoke, and I spoke to Liam earlier on this week about how, you know, he's usually an attritional fighter. He wears you down, he occupies that space, he grinds you down in the second half of the fight, but he spoke about it, we spoke about it on the preview show, about how important it was to make a fast start. He made that fast start in the first couple of rounds, and he really set the tone.
He did, but I thought Eubank had a good round in that third round. You know, he started planting the jab a bit more. He was really busy with it. It was difficult for Liam to really get anything off, because he was keeping him occupied. Then towards the end of the round, he got the feet a little bit closer and hit him with a few uppercuts, nice and clean, but he took them pretty well. But I think at the end of the third, I said that you could maybe think that was slightly ominous for Liam Smith. But then, you know, I was wrong, because in the fourth round, we saw what he did in the corner there. And it was a really good bit of boxing, because the first shot that really got it going was when you saw his knees really dip, and I thought, oh, hang on a second, that's not just him dipping low at the waist, he's in trouble. And then he followed it up with 3-4 clean punches, and you could see the swelling come up under the eye really quickly, and he just never recovered from that. People will ask questions about the weight, and that's fine, because, you know, there's always an inquest. We'll do an autopsy ourselves on what actually happened there, but you just have to give credit to the winner, because nobody... I was sat next to George Groves, massive super middleweight, and he couldn't put a dent in Eubank. You know, and that's a little while ago again, now, and things change, obviously, but it was just... There's nothing better than something happening in sport, but particularly boxing, that nobody, and I mean no one, I haven't seen a single person say that would happen. It's why we love sport, isn't it? That you really don't know.
Do you think we'll see the rematch?
It's a good question, that, you know, because usually I would say absolutely 100% we will, because Eubank, he will hate this. He will hate it so much that there's no way he won't take it. But he will have to think about it, because he'll have to think about, how did that happen? What was that? And if he feels like doing 160 is going to put him in danger, or maybe someone around him would have to tell him, listen, this is not a good idea. But fighters are fighters. So I would, if I was a betting man, which I am, then I would say that most likely we will see it again, but that it maybe wouldn't be the best decision he's ever made.
It's Ben Shalom there, grinning like a Cheshire cat as he makes his way past the ID Boxing team. I'm sure I'll catch up with Mr. Shalom later on. Andy, back to you. If it's not the rematch next, where does either fighter go?
Well, if Chris doesn't rematch, then they'll go up to 168. That's what will happen. Because that'll be the only reason for him not to take the rematch, will be because he needs to go back up to super middleweight, and there'll be a rehabilitation process that's required there. So if he doesn't go back into the ring with Smith, then I think it'll be a softly kind of approach, which at 33 isn't ideal, but if you're going to continue and you're going to move up in weight, then that's what you'll have to do. For Liam, just go out there and try and get the biggest fight you can get. You know, Golovkin's got those 2 belts. You know, go after him, be ambitious. You know, really go and look for a defining moment. I mean, that kind of was one in there anyway, and he's won a world title before also, but just dream big. Why not? You know, someone like Golovkin, why wouldn't he want to come to England, to a packed out arena like this, or maybe even a stadium, maybe even Anfield? Maybe you could get enough people in Anfield for Triple G. You know, he's getting towards the end himself. He's only going to want big fights that he can get up for. So that's, you know, I would say that that's realistic.
Okay, well, if you want to hear any more from Sky Sports Boxing's Andy Clarke, you will have to tune in to the ID Boxing Review Show tomorrow at 6 p.m. Andy, always a pleasure catching up with you on what has been a fantastic night here in the Manchester, well, whatever it's called nowadays, the Manchester Arena. Look forward to catching up with you soon, Andy.
You too, Rob, you too.